Hey everyone, welcome to our Tuesday tutorial. How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. This is Susan Campfield with SueStampfield.com. So happy you can join me tonight. Maybe you're watching on Facebook. Maybe you're watching on my in my Facebook group, Sue Stampfield, where we do a lot of paper crafting fun. And this week we've been having a Halloween week. So lots of Halloween posts going on in the group, Halloween in August. The thing is, if you do love Halloween and you like to make a lot of gifts and cards for your friends for Halloween, it's always a good idea to start early. And oh my gosh, August is almost over. It ends next week. Can you believe it? And then we're looking at September. So we're having a fun Halloween focus this week. So thanks for tuning in and joining me. You may be watching this on my Susan Campfield Independent Demonstrator Facebook page. Wherever you're watching, welcome. You might be watching the replay over on my YouTube channel, my Sue Stampfield YouTube channel. So happy you can join me. We're going to make another cute punch art Halloween critter, I guess I would say, using the penguin punch again. So let me flip my camera, and on Saturday on my YouTube live, which I also shared in my Sue Stampfield group, we made a Count Dracula. And so tonight we're going to make his friend Frankenstein in another cute treat box. So let's go to the other camera here and take a look at my desktop. Oh, and we can see my camera there. I mean, not my camera, my laptop. I'm going to slide that back just a little bit so it's out of our way. We need lots of room to work here. So got the nails done today just for Halloween. Didn't go black because they're kind of short right now and I didn't know how that would look. So I went with sparkly purple, which also works for the Minnesota Vikings since I live in Minnesota, right? So dual purpose. So thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to, hey, Jean from North Dakota, thanks for being here. So let's talk about a couple things. Last time we made this adorable little Count Dracula treat box, baddie for you on the front. We used the penguin builder punch to build our little Count Dracula there. Inside the tombstone treat box, we've got a Reese's peanut butter cup and then a little Halloween message. So we made that one last time. Now I'm going to have you help me be accountable. I am in the I just started doing a blog post for this. I hope to get that up by some point tomorrow because I have a map that I've put together, a tutorial map, I guess I would call it, on how you build that Dracula. So don't be intimidated by this. I know there are a few steps, but it just helps me if I'm a visual learner. So if I can see the steps visually, that helps me a lot. So working on the blog post for this one. And then I will also do a blog post in a few days for our Frankenstein. Okay, I've stated it. You guys hold me accountable. I just had my blog redone and want to get back into doing more blog posts. So stating it here for the world to hold me accountable. So this is our adorable little Frankenstein here. He's got the bead. So it's celebration right now. And if you place a $50 order, you get a free thing. And so how to use some of that beautiful bedazzling free celebration paper for the moon to do our little Frankenstein. And this one, you open it up and inside we have, surprise, surprise, a Reese's because the Halloween themed candy is not out yet in my area, but these are the perfect fit, and they're always Halloweeny, right? And then inside I got a little fancier on this one and did a little more fun on the inside. I don't know if you can see, but that is the black glimmer paper that the cobweb is cut out of. Hopefully you'll be able to see that a little bit easier when we go to put that together. Now, when I did the Count Dracula project on the video, we really just did the Dracula. I had the box all ready to go and we just popped him on. So in the blog post that I'm doing, it will have the dimensions for these other pieces so that if you want to copy that exactly, you can. Again, we use the bedazzling and the black glimmer paper because, you know, why not? So the Frankenstein is actually quite a bit easier than the Dracula, and both of these ideas I got from demonstrator Dawn Olchefske. She demonstrated an event that I helped put on, and she was one of our leaders that helped do the event as well. And she presented with the penguin builder punch, and she did both of these. This is my tweak on that. I did change them a little bit, but it was absolutely her brilliant idea. So I wanted to make sure to give her credit for that because she did some cards with them. I love treat boxes. So super fun project. And this one is really easy. You guys will see how easy this is in a second. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about, we're using two different bundles to make this project. One bundle we're using is, of course, the Penguin Place bundle, and that is with the Penguin Builder Punch and the stamp set. Now, the only thing I'm using the stamp set for with the Frankenstein is the eye stamp, which is right here. On the Dracula, I actually also used the bow tie stamp, which is in here for Dracula. So it's up to you. So when you make the penguin the regular way, like whoever does that, right? Well, he's adorable. So you should, when you get this, you should also make lots of fun little penguins. And he's got even a little, this can be, it's supposed to be a little bucket, but I think if you turn it on its side, it could also be like a coffee mug that he could be holding or having in his lap. But super cute. So there's just a couple pieces, and I'm pointing these out now so that when I use some of these pieces on the Frankenstein, it will make sense. Now for the Dracula, we use the inner body and the outer body, and I don't believe we use the feet at all. For the Frankenstein, we're not using the inner body at all. We're just using the outer body and actually the feet. But not for feet. So there's our cute little penguin. And you can see when you stamp the penguin eyes, which are a single stamp that has the two images on the same stamp. Let's bring that in here. I don't know if you can see that. So both eyeballs are there. They're quite wide apart. And for both my Frankenstein and my Count Dracula, I wanted them closer. So, which is an idea I got from Dawn. So you'll see how we do that. So I actually already punched these out. So I don't know why I'm unlocking the punch, because I don't actually need it at this moment in time. So let's talk about our cute little Frankenstein. Again, very easy to do. I think. You'll have to let me know your thoughts. Oh, I did forget something though. Okay, we are going to have to do a little bit of punching. That's okay. I've got some right here, and I do need that punch. So I have 3 outer bodies, one in Granny Apple Green, one in Basic Black, and one in Smoky Slate. And I also need 2 feet from the Smoky Slate cardstock. So I'm just going to slide my punch in just so that the foot is in there and punch out just, whoops, I didn't get it all. Sorry. It's okay. It's a tiny little foot, so no worries. Lots of paper. Okay, so the part that I want on the feet is this rounded part on the end. So, because that is going to be the bolts in his head. Because, you know, Frankenstein has bolts in his head. That's just what he's known for, right? So very easy. Let's go ahead and make our Dracula. Now you'll see I have all of my penguins upside down. That's because for the head is going to be the bottom of the penguin. The shirt's actually going to be the head. So it's kind of basically upside down. So technically I need those 2 upside down and this one right side up. So we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to do a little surgery here because that's how Frankenstein was built, right? Just parts and pieces. So we're going to remove the penguin arms because this is going to become our Frankenstein's head. So there's a little notch right here. You can just put your scissors right in that little notch and cut straight down, which gives him sort of a blocky head, which is perfect, right? That's what Frankenstein needs, is a nice block head. So we've got his head there. This is actually going to be his hair. So I'm going to cut this down So I'm getting just the tip of the arms. I'm not actually going to use the arms, but I'm just using that for a guide. So it almost looks like a hat, doesn't it? So we're actually going to go in now and cut off the arms because this is going to be the hair. And this hair right now is longer than I want it to be, but that's okay. We're gonna give him a haircut. We'll fix that. But right now I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna make my hair by just making jagged cuts, just cutting out little wedges of the cardstock, just little triangle pieces. And it's okay to have it be uneven and sloppy because, you know, it's Frankenstein. He's like made with chunks and parts and pieces, and probably hairstyling is not top on his list, right? So I've got the chunky hair there. So I'm going to throw away those little bits. Let's talk about the shirt. So here's the shirt. It's actually used to be the penguin's head. So I'm going to put my scissors right into this notch and cut straight across. I'm cutting his head off. We won't think about it that way. That is kind of Halloween-y, right? So I'm now going to, this is how his shirt will be. I want to cut a triangle just in the neck of his shirt. So his shirt is open. So just cutting a triangle piece right out of that. Kind of like I did the hair, but a little bit wider. So there is my shirt. And then the feet, I'm actually not going to do anything with. Whoops, I'm hitting things there. Hit my light stand. Okay, so now we're ready to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to bring in the eyeballs, the penguin eyeballs. And as I said, I want them closer together. So I'm actually only going to ink up, see if I can, it's hard to see this because it is photopolymer, so it's clear. But I'm going to ink up just one eyeball and stamp it twice. So I'll open up my Memento Tuxedo Black ink here, load that up, and I'm just going to stamp one eyeball and then load that up again and stamp another eyeball. And you can eyeball it. Little Frankenstein joke there. I'm not measuring it. They're not perfectly symmetrical, but again, this is Frankenstein. Do we really want it perfectly symmetrical? Probably not, right? And then I'm going to grab my basic black Stampin' Write marker. And there are two tips here. So the line, this line tells us that's the wide tip. The skinny line tells us that's the skinny tip, and I want the skinny tip. So I'm going to just take my cap off here, and I'm going to make a mouth on here. It's just a jagged line. He's kind of a grumpy Frankenstein because, you know, wouldn't you be kind of grumpy? And then, you know, he is kind of sewn together. So I'm going to give him a couple little stitching marks here, which is just a line with some little dashes through it. And there we have our bald Frankenstein. Let's give him some hair. So if I put the hair on now, it's going to cover up his eyes. Which not that isn't Frankensteinish, but I want his cute eyes to show. So I'm going to give him a little trim, and I'm going to do what Dawn did, which was to kind of curve this upward towards the middle and then back down again. So I'm kind of having the hair in the center be a little bit higher, and that looks better to me. You can see his eyes a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on now. I just opened a brand new bottle of glue, and I was like, Susan, you really should prime that glue and try it before you just go live. And yeah, guess what I did not do. So let's hope I don't make a big gluey mess here, because this is a fully loaded brand new bottle of glue because my other one was running out. So I'm using the multi-purpose liquid glue. You could also use glue dots for this. The multi-purpose liquid glue, I can get down into the little crevices a little bit more. So, and then when I slide it on his head, I can adjust it a bit. And if you didn't get it high enough, you can actually have it stick up a little bit over his head if you need to slide it up a little bit. So you can see I'm not perfectly flush there because I wanted his eyes to show a little bit more. So I just slid it up a bit. And then I'm going to attach his shirt. For his shirt, I'm also going to use the multi-purpose liquid glue. Again, you could use glue dots or an adhesive runner, tape runner for this. Seal or similar, your choice. Let's put his little shirt on. We will be trimming this down a little bit, but I found that I build it first and then I trim it to the finished size. So we've got, he's almost done. I mean, he's really pretty quick and easy, but we're going to add his little bolt ears here. So those, I think, oh, I guess I could use glue dots for those. Whoopsie, these are falling. Stop falling. So these are my mini glue dots here, and I'm just going to put this just on the toe end. So these are the penguin's feet. No, Susan, feet. No S on the end. I just want this curvy top part of the foot. Sorry, my camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. The curvy top part of the foot is going to be the bolt. The toes aren't going to show. So I just want that glue dot in the toe area because I don't want it to show. And I'm just going to have just a little bit of that poking out there on the side of his head. You could also, you know, custom cut something fancier if you want, but you know what? You've got these feet right in the punch, and so I decided to go with those. We'll add our second bolt right here, and there we have our Frankenstein. Really quick and easy to do, so fun. So we've got this little guy right here. There we go. And we're ready to make our box. So let's get some other fun things. So this is where the other bundle goes into play. So he was made just with the Penguin Place bundle, right? And some bits of cardstock and some black ink. We're going to now make our box. So these are the Tombstone boxes. When you get your package, they look like they're exactly the same, but one is a little bit bigger than the other. So you want to hold up the pieces because you want one of the smaller ones and one of the bigger ones. The smaller one is the bottom and the bigger one is the top of the box. And it already has the adhesive on it. These could not be easier to go together. You just peel off the tape. Ow, ow. Poke myself. Goodness. Wouldn't be a Sue Stampfield video without some boo-boos, right? All right, so I'm going to just fold that flap in, press down on that adhesive there where I removed the strip. That's the bottom of the box, and we'll do the same over here. Let's pull this off. Let's not have our finger behind the pokey part. Don't worry, I didn't draw blood. That's the worst, right? When you get a paper cut and you bleed on your project. Oh, hate that. Save the project. Now we're going to just fold that flap down and give it a press. So that's going to be the lid to our box here. So it's just perfectly going to fit on the bottom. And we're going to make it cute. So I have some bits and pieces here that I have. Some I've pre-stamped and cut. Some need a little work still. So this is our moon. So let's talk about where our cobweb, and don't worry, I know I still have chunks in here that haven't come out. I put this on the adhesive sheets, so when I peel off the backing, most of those should just come off with the backing. Again, I'm using the black glimmer paper and the Free Celebration bedazzling paper. This one has not sold out yet. They did tell us that was limited supply. I'm also using a little bit of boo paper because what's Halloween without a little bit of boo paper, right? So the boo paper here is from the Cute Halloween paper. And so this particular one is Boo 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 Boo. And on the back, we have some cute ghosts. And these actually match the punch from this suite of products. So I've got my boo paper there. And then the die cuts here and the stamps are all from this bundle because I needed to turn my penguin a little more Halloween-y by adding in a Halloween bundle. So I am using the Frightfully Cute bundle of products here. So I'm using the Less Trickin', More Treatin' for the inside of our box, along with the cute spider. And then I cut it with this die cut right here. And then my cobweb, as you can see, is this die cut right here. The Frightfully Cute that will go on the front of the box is, of course, from the set. And then this is the matching label. So these are actually called the Frightful Tags dies, and they can be bundled with the Frightfully Cute set. So the moon is right here. So it's a circular die. And I need to make, I don't want a full moon. I want a quarter moon. Is that what you'd call that? Or a half moon? I don't know, whatever they call that. So let's set this aside and let's bring in, we're going to be space saving tonight, and we're going to use the little mini emboss machine because it takes up way less desk space. So fits in a little bit better. Can you guys see that? Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, I love all this year's Halloween items too, Roz. They're just awesome. So I have my my setup. Let me just show you really quick, because I'm a little bit newer to the mini emboss machine. And so just as a quick recap on how things are, the plates that come with it and how you use those. So this one is number one is when you want to cut dies, and it just shows a little diagram right there. That's cutting the dies. And then I just need my 2 plates for cutting a die. The other 2 that come with the kit are for embossing folders. One's for the 3D, it says right there, 3D embossing folder. And the other one is for a standard embossing folder. So it's all very clearly stated on the items. But these are the 3 that I'm using for die cuts. And I have found that when I put these in here, and I think I'm going to grab a Post-it note for this. So I cut the moon out of the bedazzling paper using this circle, as you can see, but I'm going to send it through again to get that half moon. So I'm just overlapping the circle about halfway through the moon, and I'm going to just stick a Post-it note on there so that it doesn't slide around. What I have found with this mini machine, or what they recommend, is that when you put it through, instead of having all your plates be perfectly even, actually stagger them a bit, and then it tends to feed through easier. So instead of having them perfectly lined up, do it that way. So I'm just going to crank this through. This little baby boss is awesome. It's just the perfect size, and look at this. You can just, when you're done with it, like we are now, sorry, that's probably really loud, you just flip up the ends. It's like a little tiny handbag, and it's just ready to go. So let's peel this off and let's see how we did. Here is our die. Let's put that back on the magnet so I don't lose anything tonight. And we have our moon, and then this little elliptical thing that we don't need. So I'm going to put that aside, and let's put these away. So I do like to put this rubber gripper down when I use this. Someone in our group recommended that when we were sharing our tips, and I love it. So thank you for that. All right, so we're ready to put our box together. I'm going to bring in the black glimmer paper that I have cut here, and I believe this one is, what size is that? I am using the multi-purpose liquid glue on this. I have found that with the glimmer paper, the liquid glue tends to adhere better than some of our other things, because it kind of gets down into the glitter, because the glitter is sort of like sandpaper. And so it really sticks down in there and holds on. So in case you're wondering what the size on this was, I just cut it. You'd think I'd remember, but no. It's about 2 7/8 long. Actually, it's not even that. It's like 2 15/16 long. Just cut it a hair shorter than 3. And then it is 7/8 wide, and then the boo is a 1/2 inch. So, whoops, is it 7/8? I'm sorry, it's 3/4 wide. And then I'm actually going to adhere that with dimensionals. I can use regular dimensionals, but guess what? We also sell black dimensionals, and this is an ideal occasion to use my black dimensionals because they're not going to have any white peeking out if I don't get them perfectly lined up, or if they tilt the box, they're not going to see any white under there. It'll just blend in. So I'm just lining that boo strip up with the lower part of the tombstone right there, and that's popped up. And then we're going to put our moon here. We're also going to adhere this Frightfully Cute to the other piece of black glimmer paper. And this one, I believe, is 5/8 by 2 3/4 wide, because that's what fit the die well. And then again, I'm going to use the black dimensionals on the back of that. There we go. A blinged out football. Oh, I like it. Very good, Bernae. It does kind of look like a football. And with my Viking purple nails, that's purple and gold. Husband would approve of that, I think. So I'm going to stand up here because I want to make sure I get this in the right spot. And when I'm sitting down, I tend to get things a little wonky. Do you do that? Do you stand up when you craft? Sometimes I just need to stand up. And then we're going to adhere the moon. For that one, I'm still going to use a black dimensional. It really doesn't matter. Stick that on the back of my moon. Pull that off. And that is going to go right here. And then I want to trim down my Frankenstein just a little bit. Oh, you know what? We forgot something. Oh my goodness. Here I said he was all done. But you know, any good Frankenstein, like our Frankenstein has a little bit of bling because that's how we roll, right? So our Frankenstein has some rhinestone buttons on his shirt. Don't ask me where it came from. And to make the rhinestone buttons, I used my regular basic rhinestone jewels and my Stampin' Blend basic black marker. And I just colored them so that they're black. And so I'm going to add 2 of those to his shirt here. And the reason I don't know, I really like adding a project to me. It's really hard for me to make a project and not add an embellishment and a ribbon. I really struggle with that. You need to practice it or something. But on our Dracula, our Count Dracula, he had his blood red rhinestone in the center of his bow tie, and I just felt like Frankie needed a little bling too. So I've got my 2 little rhinestones on there, and that tells me where I can trim the shirt down. So I'm just cutting that straight across, and then we'll add some dimensionals to the back of our Frankenstein here, and we'll pop him into place. I'm going to put this dimensional way over. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use one of the mini. When you get the black dimensionals, you get both the regular size and the mini. So I'm going to put one mini one over here so that it doesn't interfere with our moon. And one regular one. And he's just going to overlap that moon just a little bit here. Put him a little bit farther. There we go. So there's our Frankenstein and the moon. And so we're also going to add 2 more rhinestones. I've got 2 more ones that I colored with the basic black marker. And those are just going to go on our little Frightfully Cute tag. Sorry, it was off camera there. Right here to decorate the little Frightfully Cute tag. Like so. And we're going to, we've got a moonlit night here. And so I want to add some stars behind. So we have the cute star adhesive back sequins that are from the mini catalog. And I'm going to just add a few of those to my project here. So I'm going to do a big one and a couple of small ones, or you could do 2 big ones and 1 small one, whatever works. So those just are like shimmery and shiny. I guess they're shiny. All right, so we're getting pretty pretty good far along on our lid. We're going to add some ribbon. I love this ribbon that we had. This came out a couple Halloweens ago and it stayed in the catalog. It's the glittered black organdy ribbon. And now we actually have a white glittered ribbon that's in this mini catalog. And so I'm not sure how much I need here. I love this ribbon. I'm going to need to order more because I just used it to package up some gifts today. So I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to, hopefully none of my leaders are watching this, spoiler alert, I'm going to fold this ribbon in half because I want it right around the top of the tombstone, which is quite narrow. And so that's how I got it to fit. I just folded it in half and then tied it in a knot. Oh yeah, I got way too much. That's okay. Better too much ribbon than not enough, right? Hopefully I'm on camera and you can see all right. So there we go. All right, so we've got our fun blingy ribbon. I can almost use these ends are so long I can almost make little knotted bows on something else. I really got carried away with that. Okay, there we go. So we've got our ribbon on the top. This one is not wanting to go the right way. I might have to twist it. That's okay. We'll do that in a minute. And let's do the bottom of our box. So for the bottom of our box, we've got our die cut glimmer paper. There you can see it sparkle. Cobweb. And again, I used the adhesive sheets for the back of that so that it's already sticky. And hopefully when I peel this off, hopefully some of these little bits will come out. We'll poke out whatever we need to. Yeah, didn't work so much. Some of them did. Some of them came off, but some of them are still in here and they're raining on my cobweb parade. So they've got to go. I'm gonna poke them out here. And they're sticky. My dogs are going to be covered with little glittery cobweb bits tonight. It's all right. For a while, one of them was here under my stamping desk, but she's gone off somewhere else now. It was raining here this morning, so they haven't gotten their WALK in yet today. In fact, we're due to go for a jog, so we're going to be doing that after dark here when I finish. All right, I'm just going to peel off this backing here. And okay, I made a bit of a mess with that. I have little bits sticking to me there. I think I've got them all off. Oh, there's one here. All right, are we all out? Oh, there's one more, you guys. So sorry, I should have done that ahead of time. I didn't know that was going to be so problematic. So we're just going to pop this right into the bottom of the box. If you don't have the adhesive sheets, you also could just sponge some glue on there. And then, of course, we have our less trickin', more treatin'. And I am actually going to pop that up because I can. And I like to pop things up when I can. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this right here in the bottom of the box. Right there. Less trickin', more treatin'. We've got our little spiders that are kind of hanging right out from our web. And so we've got somewhere in this desk, we have a Reese's peanut butter cup, unless one of the dogs walked off with it, but that's okay. We'll swipe the one out of this box. We can do that, right? And put that in to our box. And we have our little Frankenstein is all done. I'm just going to twist this ribbon the other way because it's not wanting to, it's wanting to cover up my frightfully cute part, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm popping the lid on. So there we have our fun little Frankenstein treat boxes with the Penguin Builder Punch. And again, that frightfully cute bundle. So let's bring in our Count Dracula right here. Of course, after Halloween, if you have end up with some of these boxes left over, no worries, because you can, of course, here's another Halloween one. This was made by my friend Sue Dias. She gifted me this cute one, which I believe she cased right out of the mini catalog. She used a die to cut a window in the box, which is super cute. I've been playing with that too. In fact, the frightfully cute dies, I cut a window in this one. We'll see what I end up doing with that in process. But if you end up with these boxes left over after Halloween, you can also cut off the top and bottom portions and use them for just a pretty gray gift box. This one I put wedding bells on, and I've got a gift card inside, because that fits just almost perfectly. You can see it doesn't quite lay flat, which is great because then they can get it out easily. They can get a finger under it to pull it up. So these tombstone boxes are multi-purpose and can be used for a lot of things. So that said, I'm going to flip here so that I can say farewell. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for our cute little Frankenstein treat box. And again, watch my blog, SueStanfield.com. I should have the Count Dracula up tomorrow. And then in a few days, I will have Frankenstein up. So thanks so much for joining me. And oh, thank you to Terry Phelps. Terry figured out tonight how I can easily flip between cameras, because that was really awkward for me before, and she figured out the trick. So thank you, Terry, for figuring that out and sharing it with me. That was really easy. I can't believe I didn't get that on my own, but I appreciate you figuring that out. Have a great night, everyone. We'll see you next time. Saturday at 10 a.m. on my YouTube channel, and I'll probably stream that into my Sue Stampfield group as well. I will be sharing another Halloween project. So hope you can tune in and join me for that if you are a Halloween lover. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Bye-bye.